Here's my 10 reasons to praise God in the midst of battling for where God placed us. David started this. David was in the midst of turmoil and stuff going on in his world, and the end of 144, he's praying against the young men and women that are coming up that are speaking vanity and what that sets in motion and wanting to get things corrected so that way there's blessings and more blessings. Read all of 144. It's a great chapter. But I want to start with verse 1. Blessed be the Lord, my strength. I have quoted this verse, and every time I have looked at it, I read this as in my strength. How much you can bench press, how much you can lift, how well you could hold on to a bad guy, your strength, or even your endurance, or how long you could even battle something. It's not how it translates when you break open a Strong's Concordance. And I didn't quite understand. You talk about a good Scottish day. So the first word for the definition for strength isn't your physical strength. It's a cliff or a rock. Figure, who is the rock of all ages? Christ, the Word. That's where our strength is supposed to come, that stability, that firm foundation. So when I first looked at this, it, blessed be the Lord, my strength, my cliff. And every time I started looking into it, we're not talking about like this little bitty cliff. We're not talking about a little 4-inch little cliff that we look at and go, We're talking these massive, high cliffs that is a refuge. Some of the old English and old Scottish castles are built right on the edge of a cliff. Why? Because they're impenetrable. There's a defense that's there. And if our strength is in the Lord, that when we come up against an enemy, our strength is He's put us on such a high place that if we're walking with the Lord, the enemy shouldn't penetrate the defenses. We're above the waves that crashing. We're above the turmoil. We're above all the things that stress because He set us up on a cliff that they can't climb because He put us in high places. This massive, I think of, I really wish if I'd have thought about it, I'd have done pictures with these big, massive mountains and cliffs that you find in the Utah desert or even in Palos Verdes off of California coast, that sheer drop-off on the edge that if you've got a house up here, minus mudslides and all that kind of stuff, it's steady. You look at the wise man who built his house where? On a rock. It wasn't coincidence he said a rock, and our strength is a rock or a cliff. That's the stability we should be having with God.